Hey, and welcome back to another video. This one is, of course, on Reddit, and it's something you do that you don't tell anyone about. Okay. So let's find out. First one is, I like to subtly mess with people's head on purpose. Well, I think a lot of people do that, but sniff women's worn panties when the opportunity presents itself. Okay, so we're just going straight out to the freaky right now. All right. Um, I'm not going to ask how you get there or why, because that's not the question. I make and read exotic AI chats. Okay, going into another freaky one. That's all right. You do you, boo. Testing and development of adult toys. We're really going there, aren't we? We're just doing these. Okay. Um, Here we go. This is a little more practical. Nice try, FBI. You'll never find out about my collection of banned books. The ones where I have one swear or have commentary on government rule. See, that was I have conversations with ChatGPT. I've never even used ChatGPT that I know of. Maybe that's a thing. I mean, I guess if you want to talk to something. I talk to myself for advice. Sometimes it's my best therapy. Okay, so this one I completely agree with. I do this all the time. I actually have a shirt that says, of course I talk to myself, because sometimes I need expert advice. I have talked to myself since I was a small child. Probably tells you a lot about me right there. But yeah, I can get behind this one. Next, once every few weeks, I hit the sushi buffet by myself and not tell anyone. I will stuff my face like a pig while browsing Reddit on my phone, followed by a long food coma nap. Nobody knows I do this except my credit card company. I live in fear of being outed. Trivia. I've been doing this since 2016, and in the ensuing years, I've noticed a steady increase in the amount of solo diners doing the same thing as me, stuffing their face while looking at their phones. I think actually that happens a lot. I don't think it's just this person or sushi or whatever. A lot of people eat alone. I did that. I still do that because schedules and stuff with family. So there's no harm in eating by yourself. It's self-awareness and you're getting to know yourself. And there's food involved, which I am very pro food. So the next comment here is I am a guy who likes to wear dresses. That's okay. As long as you don't dress up as a lumberjack as well. Well, even if you do, that's okay. I have a whole playlist of guilty pleasure songs that I only play when no one's around. Don't judge. All of my songs on my playlist are pretty much because I have a playlist on YouTube, and it's very odd. I finally got through all of it. There's only like 70 something songs on there the other day, and I realized, holy crap! If someone listened to those, if someone actually looked at that playlist, I don't know that I could live it down. But it's okay. You do you again, and you like the music you like. I personally don't like genres. It's just certain songs that appeal to me. And I like covers of certain songs better than the actual song. I pretend like I am an edit in the mirror waiting to shower sometimes. Okay. I often ignore phone calls and door knocking because I'm just not in the mood for people. I think a lot of us do that. I do that all the time. I have to answer the phone in certain cases, but people never come to my house, so I'm cool there. One thing I do that I don't usually tell anyone about is that I keep a happy moments journal. Sounds good. Sounds cool. Every time something small but positive happens, like someone complimenting me, or a random act of kindness, or just a beautiful sunset, I write it down. It helps me stay grounded and reminds me that even on tough days, there are always little things to be grateful for. I don't share it with others because it feels like a personal, sacred space for just me. That is actually a really beautiful idea. I think that has a lot of promise and could help a lot of people. I hope some other people hear that and actually start taking that up. Um, it doesn't, we always taught when you journal to record. Okay, not always. It seems when people start journaling, it's to catalog their more desperate, more negative aspects. Um, but there should obviously be a reversal of that. And record the happy moments, the positive things, because you'll want to remember those as well. I sing my dog songs that I made up for her. Oh, I do that with all of my animals. There are certain songs that belong to animals, to my dogs and my cats. We have one whose name is Ahsoka. Her song is is Fancy by what's her name? Azalea, what's her name? Freaking Azalea's chick. Iggy Azalea. Yeah, that's Ahsoka's theme song is I'm So Fancy. Beautiful Girls by what's his name? Sean, what's his name? That was a couple of my dog's songs. That dog passed away now, but it was it was her song. We have several that we've made up. I used the Digimon theme song for a cat that my sister had a long time ago. It's changed, of course. But yes, there's little songs that we make up about our animals because it's fun and because our animals love it. This one says, pick my nose. Well, I'm glad you told us that, but I'm glad I don't have to see it. Talk to my plushies and tell them they are real. Usually negative feelings you can't tell anyone else. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. You got to survive somehow, and coping mechanisms, unfortunately, have become the norm. I have a superpower that can change the world. Well, I really wish they would have told us what it was. Sometimes I'll eat a donut over the kitchen sink in the dark while everyone else is sleeping. Shame eating. Dude, we've all been there. I secretly love to dance in my room when no one's watching. I think a lot of people do that as well. I used to. Now my hip hurts so bad, I don't do that. Because I'm old, I can't do it anymore. Pretend I'm going to work and hide in the movie theater. I would so love to do that. Unfortunately, the closest movie theater where I live is about 45 minutes away, and my work is on the way there, so I'm kind of one of those people that's very dependable, so I don't do that. But I would love to do that. I would love to just call off work and go to the movies. That'd be awesome. So totally awesome. In real life, I am the closest and pretend to be a son instead of a daughter. I think they meant I'm in the closet. But on social media, I can't hide my anger issues, but I don't show them. I talk about everything on social media. Well, it's an outlet, and it's better than keeping it all in. So as long as it doesn't overrule your life and it doesn't consume it, I guess it's an outlet. Sometimes I talk to my plants, and I think they respond. Talking to plants is actually very positive. There's been many, many studies, and I always grew up hearing this as well, is that, talking to plants helps them, playing the music helps them, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, I had asshole cats who, no matter what I tried to do to fix the situation, they would just pee or poop in my plants all the time. I put screens, I put rocks, everything that you could possibly do that people would say, oh, this will stop your cats from doing that. Well, my cats are assholes. And so I have no living plants in my house right now. I had to give them all to my dad. It makes me sad because they look really good in his house. So make comments on Reddit under the name Dick Nipples. Okay? So if you find Dick Nipples, you know why that came from. And someone had commented, the username checks out. Everyone thinks that I'm strong and use humor to get through my pain and problems, but the truth is that I wait for my family to go to bed and I sit in silence and reflect. Nobody knows, and they think that I will fall asleep on my chair, but the reality is some days I just don't sleep. I sit here all night remembering, and it helps. I mean, it's in my own way. Yeah. Again, I feel you. Went through a time like that, and sometimes you've got to find your own peace. You've got to find your own space where you can. And if that's waiting until everyone goes to bed and sitting in silence to reflect, then if that's what works for you, do it. This person writes to prison pen pals. See, that would scare me. That's just me. But if that's something you do and it helps you and you think it helps them, then by all means, continue doing it. Skip work. I don't do it often, but sometimes it's just a much needed day for me. Yes, I wish I could do that, but no. Well, I'm not going to tell everyone here. Okay. Fair enough. I eat uncooked ramen when no one is looking. It'd be bad for your teeth, but I can see the whole crunchy aspect of it. It can't be worse than chips, right? I work out in my room. Oh, that's actually good. Working out is good. And wherever you do it, as long as it's not naked in front of, Times Square, I guess we're good. I just have how all of these stories were either on September 3rd at 2:37, went to a truck stop and murdered someone in the bathroom, or I make homemade cookies aren't homemade. Yeah, I haven't seen any of those though, but I'll keep looking now. Fight Club! There we go. First rule about Fight Club though, so he just broke it. Or she. I don't know. I don't tell anyone any bad things that I have done, like breaking a class. Yeah, there's a lot of things. You don't tell people things. When I was a little kid, I used to run in circles while daydreaming. Now I mask it as going for a walk or walking the dog. Again, I don't see any problem with that. You got to do what you got to do. Daydreaming is to me, it's a very important part of being human and having an imagination and being able to, I hate to use the word cope again, but to cope with the aspects of reality. Sometimes you just got to let your mind wander and you got to do what you got to do to find what you need, to get what you need. Record freestyle raps in my car and then drive around with them at full blast on constant repeat. That is cool as fuck, dude. I love that idea. I can't rap to save my life, but hey, now I want to hear it. I use self-checkout exclusively. I'll wait to use it over an open cashier line. See, I'm getting that way myself because I had an issue the other day where you have to bag your own groceries. You have to bring your own bags. But the cashier was doing it. Well, I'd had everything. I'm very picky about how I want my bag, so I had it there, but I had to, unload, and then I had to go over there and do that. And by the time I got down there, everything was just randomly placed, and it pissed me the fuck off. And I would rather use the self-checkout and bag it the way I want it so that I know where I'm putting it at home. I can understand this. I realize some people think, oh, well, you're trying to steal. No, I actually work at a grocery store, and I wouldn't do that because, one, there's cameras, and two, it's not worth my job, and three, I'm not that kind of person. But yeah, I kind of like self-checkouts at this point because I don't have to talk to people either. No offense, but small talk just bores the fuck out of me. Sometimes I think about killing myself because I am so sad at times. It's not all the time, and I'll never do it. My husband would be devastated and would blame himself. I would never marry anyone else, and he would never marry anyone else, and I don't want him to be alone forever. My cat would be upset. My family would be upset. My friends would miss me. My depression tries to tell me that people would be better off without me, but I know that's not true. People who do love me, and that's why I never act on these thoughts or tell anyone in real life about them because I can't afford a grippy sock vacation. I don't know what that means, but grippy sock sounds cool. If I don't have anyone around who would be upset, I don't think I would still be alive. Don't send Reddit cares. Like I said, I'll never do it. See, these are the kind of people I can respect and I can understand. I've been accused of being suicidal, but I have never actually been suicidal. But I remember one quote someone had said long time ago. Committing suicide doesn't end your pain, it just passes it on to someone else. And I think if people would remember that, if they'd really focus on that, yes, your life may be hard, it may be unbearable at times, but there are other people who your loss, your not being in their lives would be such a terrible loss for them that I know that sounds, you can't live for other people, but at the same time, that's not the worst thing as well. Remember that there are other people who do care about you, your pets, your plants, your family, your friends, anybody that you can think of, they would care. So if you're self-aware enough to be aware of this, good on you, proud of you, and keep up the hard work because you're worth it. This next person says, I still sleep with my stuffed animals sometimes. I would, but my dogs would probably eat them or piss on them. So much nose picking. Wow. Okay. I'm always naked in my room and I don't wear undies going outside. You're going commando. I've known plenty of people who do that. Make up little songs about random things that I'm doing or just happening around me. Sometimes I sing them out loud. Sometimes just in my mind. Again, if it occupies your mind, it keeps you active, keeps you stimulated. I don't see a problem with any of this. Answer a bunch of questions on these Ask Reddit questions. Answer a bunch of, yeah. I'm a boring middle-aged widow who had almost the same friends for 20 years. No one's really asking for my opinion anymore. It's so fun to come here and interact with strangers, see what they think, and share what I think. etc. See, I like this one. This one's smart. There's reasons to do this sort of stuff. Getting your opinion, getting your feelings out there. I don't see a problem with it as long as they're not harming anybody else. Binge watching reality TV shows when no one's around. I've done that. I'll just say this. It involves kite string, duck feathers, large marbles, and peanut butter. I wish I had not read that one. I often sit in my car in silence before heading home from work for about 30 minutes to an hour. I typically say I'm off later so that I have some time to decompress and put a happy face on. Yeah. Most people, I think, have had to do that sort of stuff. You just got to do it. Pluck the hairs from my moles. Okay. How much Coke I use. And this one says, nice try, Mom. There are a few stray cats around my neighborhood. When I'm driving away or to my house, and it's a quiet day and no other cars or people around, and I'll see one of them on the sidewalk and somewhere close. I notice them looking in my direction. I'll slow down, then stop nearest them. Pretty much every time there'll be about 3 to 5 seconds where we look at each other, and then I'll just continue on in my day. Never told anyone that I do that. Hey, it's interaction. Don't knock it. I'm manic depressive and regularly switch between successful confidence and debilitating depression, but I can control it like a switch to accommodate my surroundings. That is sadly awesome. Yeah, wish I could do that. I have no idea what I'm doing at work. I think most of us are like that sometimes. Well, I told you, but I'll have to take it off the list. Oh, well. I wake up, shower, go to work, do work, eat lunch, finish work, go home, eat lunch, or eat dinner, sorry. Maybe watch some TV, go to sleep, all without telling anyone. Well, you just did. Now the secret's broken. I hit myself when I'm angry at myself. I really don't mean to do it at the time, but it just ends up happening. And it makes me really sad when I'm like this. I don't tell anyone in real life because I'm afraid of being judged. Yeah. I hope you can get some sort of help for that because it's probably not the healthiest mechanism you can use. Don't beat yourself up about it, but maybe try to find some help. I sometimes mime power ballads using my hairbrush as the microphone. I range from Skid Row, I Remember You, to Sia's Bird Set Free, through a Carrie Underwood Before He Cheats. When miming, I have an amazing vocal range. Well, good for you. Yeah. I don't really care for your song choices, but again, if you saw my playlist, you'd understand. Scan the room, quickly look for people to see who is chill and who is tense. Find the exits, sit back at the wall, the facing windows near the least busy door, and then go directly outside. No good reason for doing this, but I have to. Yeah. Fantasize about leaving my wife and huge family without saying a word, then living the rest of my life by myself in the woods somewhere. I think a lot of people have done that. I know I've done that. Not that I have a wife, but, and I wouldn't do that to my husband or my son, but it's just, yeah, there are some times you're like, I've had enough. I'm going to go out into the woods and live off the land, and maybe a bear will eat me. I don't care. I just had enough. In middle and high school, I used to punch myself in the legs, stomach, opposite arms, etc. for whatever reason. Got a bad test grade? Punch. Can't fit in these pants anymore? Punch, punch. Got nervous doing something normal people can do without a thought? Punch, punch, punch. Later learned in life that can be contributed to autism. Laugh out loud. Nowadays, I get overstimulated very easily and take a lot of quiet breaks, which is just me dipping out of situations when they get to be too much for my noggin to handle. Instead of harming myself, I've grown to low-key take care of myself and give me what I need. There we go. Positive growth, awareness, very proud of it. I completely pull down my pants when I pee at a urinal. Okay? Now, you don't want to get anything on them. I got that. I fill my cart with stuff at Target.com, Sephora.com, and other e-commerce sites, then close the tab. It's almost as much fun as fake shopping as it is real shopping. It costs $0. I've done that so many times. Yeah, it just, sometimes you just, see, this is what I did. This is how old I am. When I was a kid, we used to get catalogs, in the mail, whatever. So I would pretend that I could pick one item off of every page. And I would do that. Now, this also could go back to the fact when, I don't know if you were old enough to remember, back when Wheel of Fortune would actually have prizes as opposed to money, and you'd have to spend your money. So that may have been where I got the idea as a very young child, but every once in a while I'll catch myself doing that. If I actually find a magazine, a catalog, That's very hard to find nowadays. I will do that though. I'll look through and say, oh, I'll just pick one item off of this. I don't know why I did it, but it was fun. So you're learning stuff. I am warming up food for someone. I will always stick my tongue on their food to test the temperature. Oh, you said always. Oh, I will sometimes, but not all the time. Well, remind me never to come to your house or ask you to fill up my food. I set up my electric fan at the end of my bed so I can fart in my own face when I go to sleep. Sharing that. I like to grab ears, but they need to be cold. I thought I've chalked it up to needing that type of sensory on my hands. Okay. All right. A little strange, but again, whatever helps you get through the night. On January 1st, started keeping a list of books read at its number 75 yesterday. Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor. That is excellent. Congratulations for your goals. I'm very impressed. I have one-sided conversations with my pet fishies. Oh, I used to do that when I had fish. Then I got married. Can't have fish anymore because actually we moved and it was too hard to move them. I still do, but I did up until I was about a sophomore in high school. I slept with my parents. I am not sure why, but most of my childhood and some of my teen life was just always slept in their beds. Sure, they probably disliked me at times for being there, but it was always more comfortable and I wanted to hug my mom. Pretty embarrassing to admit, but no one knows outside my parents, of course. Sometimes you need the comfort. Yeah. Yeah. I have a mental illness, and the best time of the day for me is whenever I am alone. I don't know that I have a mental illness, but the best time for me any time of the day is when I'm alone. Even though I love my family and I have, a few, very few friends, I honestly do prefer my time alone. I write daily journals. It's very personal. I don't intend to tell anyone either. Well, that's what you shouldn't be telling stuff. Dumpster diving. Ooh, I've known lots of people who do that willingly. It's not like I need to find stuff. It's they actually like to do that. Sometimes I pee in the sink. Okay, I'm not coming to your house. Here a YouTube style tutorial while doing just about anything in the bathrooms. Makeup, skincare, dental hygiene. A vlog, but I'm not uploading it. Okay. I donate a reasonable percentage of my paycheck to various charities I like, from Alzheimer's Foundation to the Wikipedia Foundation. I'm proud of it, but will not flaunt it without a veil of anonymity. Well, good for you. If you have the ability to do that, you do it. Having a panic attack or mental breakdowns, and basically allowing myself to act like a maniac, like full-on screaming into a pillow to let emotions out and laughing like a madman while I cry. I usually act like I have my act together, but basically I'm more unhinged than I let on. I don't like others knowing about this, so I usually do it in private. But man, it is cathartic letting everything out. Yes, catharsis is important. Okay, I put on badass music and twerk in the mirror multiple times a day to get my energy up when I am having a strong ADD moment and I need to work. Well, I can appreciate that. I drink a lot and take edibles. My kids and husband have no ideas. They probably have a little bit of ideas. I live in a red part of a neighboring state. It's best people don't find out I'm from California. Old family history. We were exiled from our home country at one point. It's not a secret. If you know, you know. But we do have some old enemies from the other side of the political spectrum who instantly hate me when they find out my family name or relative or where I'm from. I was always told that was something to do with like the Campbells in Scotland. I don't know if that's true or not. Someone can comment if that's true. Sucking my thumb. If everyone ever wanted proof I have trauma, there it is. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Every year I send money to my old school to buy 6 tickets to the prom for kids who couldn't afford to go. The only person who knows is the one school administrator I email. I want everyone there to be able to enjoy a nice night. I also donate anonymously to a domestic violence shelter in my area. That is excellent. Very good on you. I talk to dead philosophers and scientists through AI. I didn't know you could do that, but now I really want to. I really, really want to. All right, we'll do a few more. I chatter and I commitment to honesty with it, for my faith in something higher will come from this existence here, but the truth always comes out, and sometimes it happens over telepathy, not really by choice. So remember that moving forward, I have a 100% track record, which is why they shouldn't kill me. leaving that one there. On my washing machine, it has these rubber grip things all around the dial, but they don't match up. So the options are all except for this one place. The rotation is like 1 centimeter away. So I always twist it to match up the option I'm going for. But to activate the dial, I need to turn it once. So I turn the desired location 1 click away so that one of the number of the rubber grip things matches up where the dial lights up. Okay. Okay. I flap my hands around rapidly when I'm alone pretty much any chance I get. Yes, I know it means I'm probably autistic. I don't know. Somebody else just watches gay porn. I talk to my objects like people and believe they can hear and see me when I talk to them. I am autistic and I form deep, cuddly emotional connections and process monologues to objects such as jeeps, dog crates, fobs, etc. Super strange, but I've done it since I was 7. If you were a fly on the wall, you would think that I was delusional, but I'm fully aware. I sleep each night for years cuddling with my model Jeep like I'm a child, and I'm 26. Again, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, last one. Ready? Sometimes when I'm interacting with people, I pretend they're dogs. This helps me feel more comfortable more quickly and helps me feel more kindly towards a person, especially if they kind of suck. I can agree with that. Sometimes people do totally suck. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.